left lower limb ischemia, and that was treated by a standard femoral bypass at the time, and the rest treated conservatively. So he was managed conservatively over the past 6-7 years, and with serial CT scan follow-up, and the bottom is not a problem. So what you can see is that really now he has developed a chronic dissection at the top. And there is another issue is that if you look at the back, then there is a aberrant right subclavian artery, which is quite sizable, of about 12 millimeters in diameter, coming from a rather narrow part of the true lumen. So if you want to determine how big is the size of the aneurysm now, it's probably going to go to almost 7 centimeters. So certainly there is grounds for treatment. So the question really is where do you want to land this? It would have nothing to do with open surgery, as quite typical in our patients. So you want to treat this endovascularly. You can see a main tear, which is not quite high. There's a second tear very close to the origin of the aberrant subclavian artery. The tumor is very narrow. If you trust me, the left vertebral artery is dominant compared to the right. They both arise from the subclavians. If you come down from the top, that's the aneurysm, that is the aberrant subclavian artery, the dissection all the way to the origin of the left subclavian artery, and that's the main tear, and then that's the bottom, which is not an issue. So I did look at this, and initially I thought the plan would have to land this. If you ask me, I probably would prefer to land it in zone 1, because I think if you land it here, then there would be a significant amount of leaking in the graft, and this might not actually give you that much of a seal. So maybe even less than 2 centimeters, which is not my preferred areas landing. So we want to cover it all the way up to here, covering the left common carotid artery. Then the question is, how do you preserve the vessels in the neck? Would you want to do fenestrations? Would you want to do branches? I thought about a scallop at the top, and then followed by a fenestration for the left subclavian artery, maybe a upward pointing internal side branch for the aberrant subclavian artery. But then when you look at the bottom here, in fact, the true lumen is actually very, very narrow in here with a kink in here. So if you get the graft up in this part, Bill, who was my planner hiding over there at the corner, tells me that this is not a good idea to get any custom-made fenestration devices up in the arch, because we are not sure how the holes would line up after this narrow section in the distal thoracic aorta. So you may not even be able to get a graft up there in the first place because of the acute kink point. So if Bill tells me this is not a good idea, always listen to Bill and try to shy away from doing this. So I'd like to see what the opinion from the experts here. Maybe I can ask Ravi, who is looking at the monitor keenly. And you have access to all the devices possible.
Thanks, Stephen. I mean, it would be technically possible to transpose the right subclavian artery onto the right common carotid artery and do a zone 1 TEVAR with carotid subclavian. You could do that.
Yeah,
I think the problem or the concern would be, is the calibre of the right common carotid artery enough to perfuse everything, because it's by its nature a smaller vessel, and I don't know the answer to that. But I think if you've so Bill's ruled out an arch branch device as well, or just said no fenestrations. I mean, I think there's a lot of tortuosity there, so the graft will twist around a lot as you introduce it.
It may be a bit too aggressive to go all the way landing in the center, I suppose. So I could.
I mean,
but
so
we still have this alignment problem, even if you do an arch branch, so the hole would be bigger.
Correct, yeah. So I think maybe, given all of those issues, that might be the way.
The most traditional is a standard tube graft and do bilateral bypass or something like that.
Yeah.
Would anybody like chimneys? Sorry? Open surgery? Yes. Truthfully, these patients would have nothing to do with open surgery.
Sorry?